I see.
Amazing.
Yep, properties. Okay. Okay, wow. That is absolutely fascinating, let me tell you. Yeah, nothing that we talked about. So, long story short, Amazon wants to start doing webtoons where you pay per chapter. Fuck you, Aura. I'm just, that is just, wow. Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask. Okay, I gotta ask. Is this a female thing or a dude thing? God fucking damn it! It's always women! That's a woman. That's such a woman. Well, yeah, but still woman. Woman, yeah, woman. Oh my god, woman. God damn it. Fucking Christ. Hit me with them. Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Go ahead. Wait, but am I not? But if I get married off to the highest bidder, do I still get the $3 million? God fucking damn it! God. Holy shit. And the worst part is the women willingly volunteer themselves for this because they're getting paid. Right. But the rest of the summary indicates that they have a plot to get out of the marriage and keep the money. What do you mean my audio is still fucking broken? What? But it was just. But it was just. What the fucking.
That's a shame. They just missed an amazing,
Okay.
the rare mass reading segment.
Okay, yeah, well, unfortunately, all Twitch heard was women, fucking women, goddamn women, fucking women.
Based. Holy shit.
No, not based, you idiot.
Okay, so what everyone missed was Max was reading off the top 10 news stories that are on the Amazon website that you can buy for chapters of, and they're all the top like 6 stories are all produced by women about them selling themselves into bondage and shit, and reverse harems and strong female characters, all of it women. It's so this actually is relevant, Max. So I was actually watching a podcast with 2 philosophers, and they got to a certain point where they were talking about the different types of content produced for each gender, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking closer at the one that Atin first told us about.
Is it more women shit?
Well, yeah, the author's name is Alice.
God fucking damn it!
Hey, Alice.
Okay.
Alice.
2 of the
Please
tags.
never write again.
No. 2 of the tags: werewolves and breeder.
Oh
and
my god!
The actual
White
title
women
art.
fuck dogs.
It is a white woman in the title art staring at a very large wolf looking back at her.
God damn it.
Like, I saw that, and I was like, oh, I have to bring this up on the podcast. I have to.
It got brought up.
I hate everything so much.
And just think, Kindle gave me 500 free tokens. I could find out what that filth is. I'm not
You
going
can
to.
no. You can read the.
No. Yeah.
Okay, Atin, you can read the first 3 chapters for free.
Excellent. So, Atin, go read the first 3 chapters for free
No,
on air.
No, Sneaky, come on. We read the first chapter.
No,
No.
I think it's a bad idea.
No, I think we need to read the first 3 chapters on air. Only you need to read them, though.
I think this is a bad idea.
I'll just keep the mute button on like a fucking hair trigger.
Okay, here's the thing. I will do it, but I'm gonna make like a separate. I'll do it next week, so I'm gonna make like a separate
You
account.
I understand.
No,
I do not want Amazon to think that I want to read that.
You don't need an account. You can just look at these for free without an account. I'm in incognito.
Oh, so
not signed into anything.
Are you telling me, Atin, you don't want Amazon to recommend you more alpha breeder marriage salesmen?
No, not particularly.
Yeah, no, you don't need an account to read the first 3.
God fucking damn women.
I'm looking at this, not signed into anything, in an incognito.
I'm gonna set fire to my
Hey,
computer after this, just to be
Alright,
sure.
listen. I've got a game of Dota
How
that's
long
going
is it?
way longer than it should, but if this
Oh,
ends before, if
good.
we finish before the end of the show, I will absolutely do it.
All right, excellent, great to hear.
Oh, there's a 1-star review here, not because they think that this is a bad story, but because Amazon hasn't properly updated it. Apparently, Amazon only goes up to chapter 40 for this story, but
Only?
it's at chapter 116 somewhere else, apparently.
No.
Where is this somewhere else?
AO3 probably.
Oh,
Probably.
Does
Probably.
AO3 do original fiction?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pretty
Probably
sure
for the
they do.
best.
Yeah.
Read on a different app. The app is called Oh, the other app has 132 chapters, something called iReader.
Oh.
Oh no.
This story is definitely worth the read, but you do have to pay. Oh, God.
Women.
You know, I don't normally talk about this. I usually discourage Sneaky's behavior that he's exhibiting right now. But shit like this is why I've always rolled my eyes at female friends back in high school. It's like, men are all pigs. I'm like, and yet women write the most smut.
Not just the most smut, the most degenerate smut I've ever fucking seen. Like, I've seen guys write smut, and it's like, oh yeah, I put my dick in all of her holes, and I did it again, and then I did it again. And then women are like, yeah, so I bent over and the dog proceeded to fuck me. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on now, Sneaky. You know full well that they get far more descriptive than that.
I know, but I'm not allowed to say those words on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh, Sneaky, you will appreciate this 1-star review.
Oh, okay.
Asking someone to pay for a story released chapter by chapter, I expect better grammar editing.
Yeah, oh, that's kind of my point, though. It's just like, if you're legit gonna be like, it's one thing to be like, hey guys, this is my Patreon. If you liked my story, please donate to me every month. I appreciated it. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. But it's like, hey guys, this is my Patreon or, you know, pay service. Every chapter I release, you'll have to pay for individually. It's like, yeah, well, then I expect some fucking copy editing happening here. I expect some level of quality when it comes to spelling and grammar. If I'm going to be paying for each chapter and I'm not just going to be, like, supporting you in general, then I expect some fucking quality.
Yeah.
I expect some real editing.
Yeah, apparently, they've got a bunch of just info that's just available without needing an account. 200 tokens is roughly averages 8 episodes, which means that it sounds like the authors get to set the scale.
Yeah, okay.
Money
Okay, but
paid per
what's a
chapter.
token? Like, how many? What's my minimum buy on tokens, and how many is that?
Tokens are probably 1-to-1 for cents, though.
Usually, yes. For this kind of thing.
I mean, it's Amazon, so they usually do a 1-to-1 thing.
I'm not signing in for this. Get out of my face, Amazon. Yeah,
Are you sure
damn,
you don't want some new recommendations?
you're ouch. No, you're out of your damn mind.
You sure you don't want this in your recommendations? Alpha breeder, fucking marriage salesman.
No, not marriage salesman, marriage auction.
Oh yeah, marriage auction. My bad. I forgot the domination aspect that women want in there.
Oh, by the
You forgot
way,
the lore. Come on, Sneaky.
by the way, number 5 on the list is
Uh-huh.
filthy rich vampires. I appreciate the sheer honesty.
Yeah, that's just being honest right there. Honestly, yeah. I just want a rich hot guy to dominate me. Yeah. All right. Well, women.
Fair enough.
I mean, listen, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Oh no, Sneaky! It's a Hallmark movie.
Of course it is.
What?
It's
No, I believe it.
the summary is one of the Hallmark formulas. Two people run into each other. One of them has to be married, or is like, oh yeah, I totally have like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they stumble into someone's like, all right, you know what, you are the perfect person I can use for this. Pretend to be X thing for the next 3 weeks or something.
Oh, so it's just a shitty version of the proposal.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, but with vampires.
Yeah. All right. So here it is.
Which is a shame, because you know what? The proposal is actually a really good movie.
So this is what I was talking about earlier with the content that's created for men and the content that's created for women. The male power fantasy is to fight the good fight, save the day, and be hailed as the hero. The female
Now, hang
power.
on.
Mhm.
You're forgetting get the super hot girl too.
Well, that's part of being hailed as the hero.
All right, I suppose you can wrap it up in there.
It's also not normally like gone into explicit detail about getting the girl.
Yeah, the girl kind of just ends up with you. Yeah. And then the female power fantasy is to do whatever you want, have whatever you want, whenever you want it, and live consequence free. And it's like, yeah. Yeah. And not fucking wrong. And that's why we have such a major divergence in content. Because it's incompatible. The two power fantasies are completely incompatible. But anyway, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we've you know what? Let's ramble some more. I got a quick story for you guys. So
Oh boy.
I am
Quick stories with Sneaky.
I was doing
Always fun.
work at my job, and I got an alert. It's an emergency request for an emergency computer repair. I'm like, okay. Well, what's wrong with it? They don't know what's wrong with it. I'm like, all right, fair enough. And in the process of trying to get the computer hooked up so the person who wants to fix the computer can log into it remotely, I end up managing to fix the half the problem. Just in the process of trying to get it to work online. But the initial issue when I set this computer up was my contact was like, yeah, so there's gonna be a small issue with getting access to this computer. I'm like, oh, what would that be? He's like, well, it doesn't have an asset in the company paperwork, and there's no password for it. I'm like, oh,
that's not your problem.
That is gonna be an issue because I can't get into the computer if I don't have the password.
Well, the other part is that odds are that's not an official computer, which means that
It was.
you guys. Oh, it was official?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Fucking moron set that up and didn't get it in the system.
Well, we had some morons back in the day. It's a very old issued computer. But anyway, so I sit there, I set all the computer up. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I can at least turn it on and open it up. I can always, you know, plug in a USB boot and get it the passwords that way, right? And so I open up the computer, and there, taped to the dashboard of the laptop, is the password to their account, not to the computer, to their entire fucking account.
No.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, was this a coworker or a client?
it was technically a coworker, I guess. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's never good. That was something I got onto the warehouse soup like in the first couple weeks. Like, dude,
Yeah.
why do you have this written down? You work in an IT company. This is not a good thing to do.
Yeah. So
He
I'm
eventually took him
like,
down when upper manager was like, okay, no, seriously, why do you still have this stuff up on just sticky noted to his monitor for all to see?
it's like if your password is so complicated, you have to sticky note it somewhere. You have to make a better password.
All right. The horrible Dota show,
Cool.
the horrible Dota game ended. All right. I
Um.
will read one of them. Which one do you want me to read, Sneaky?
Oh.
Oh boy.
I don't think Alpha Breeder is gonna make it past the TOS.
The marriage
I mean, we
auction.
can try.
The
The
marriage
marriage
auction
auction
might
probably work for like the first chapter or two before they get into all the funky stuff.
Let's go
you
with the
know?
number one story, the marriage auction. We'll get to in a
Alright.
second. So yeah, I
Oh.
call up my
Oh,
contact
no.
again, and I'm just like, hey, so we don't have to worry about the password thing. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Why did you find it somewhere? I'm like, yeah, they taped it to their computer, and they're like, oh, I see.
Yay!
Great. I'm skimming through the
Yeah,
Alpha Breeder one.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm skimming through the marriage one, so that one seems okay.
Yeah, well, the Alpha Breeder one, the chapter one at least doesn't have anything TOS breaking, but we have evil stepmother
Oh.
and alcoholic abusive father.
Of course, yes. You
Naturally.
can tell this author did not have a relationship with their father. Anyway, this is Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9005, your host, Sneaky Devil. But for today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So, pick which one you want to do then. Alpha Breeder, Marriage Auctioneer, whatever.
Guess we'll do the marriage one. Episode 1, Faith No More. Faith. I would not cry. I've shed enough tears over the past 4 years to fill an Olympic-sized pool. This step, however morally corrupt, was me taking control of my destiny, ensuring the ability to provide for those I hold close to my heart, and escape the devil who would destroy any hope I had for a future.
I'm sorry,
I'm
pause.
here.
Time out. Time fucking out. Are we really doing this? I'm gonna martyr myself on this stripper pole?
Yeah.
Sign here and here. An elegantly dressed woman who looked somewhere north of 50 pointed to the newest set of signatures that would be required on the lengthy contract sitting on the table before me. Her silky black hair was pulled back into a knot at the nape of her neck. The red suit she wore fit her slinky, thin form as though it were tailored to fit. Probably was. The woman reeked of money, clout, and an air of I'm gonna kill the fucking dog outside my house. Hang on.
Oh, I didn't realize if that was part of the story or not.
Yeah.
That was some amazing timing, though.
I was honestly, once he finished that and I realized it wasn't part of his story, I was just waiting for the clack clack of his shotgun.
Yeah.
No, that was just me slamming my window. Oh my god, it ran to the other side. Motherfucking. Alright, anyway. From the slick hairdo down to the black spiked 4-inch stilettos that she walked on with zero concern for balance, this woman was filled with confidence, something that had been beaten out of me over the last few years. I swallowed the sudden dryness in my throat and scanned the page more thoroughly before adding my signature. It wouldn't do me any good to not fully understand the parameters to which I was literally signing my life away. 3 years, over 1,000 days. By the time the contract was up, I'd be 27 and rich. Losing 3 years of my youth didn't matter to me. Losing 3 years with those I loved was a harder pill to swallow. I gritted my teeth and reread one particular section of the contract. This part reiterated what I was willingly committing to for the next 3 years. Faith Marnio agrees to the following. Serve as wife-husband to the highest bidder for a period of 3 years. Consummate the marriage agreement within 14 days of the marital ceremony. Regular sexual intercourse with the highest bidder, as defined in Amendment A. Host and attend any events desired by highest bidder. Travel as requested. Reside in dwellings provided by highest bidder. Participate in all required public relations, networking, media events as a happy, willing mate to highest bidder. Serve as stepmother, stepfather to any progeny the highest bidder may have in his/her care. My breath caught as a scratchy, ugly sensation swirled in my gut at reading that line item. Children had been mentioned once in the inch-high stack of papers that compromised the insanely detailed contract I was signing. However, I'd focused my attention on the references to any accidental children that might come of a marriage where regular sexual encounters were involved. I wasn't concerned with that part, as I had an
Accidental.
IUD to prevent accidental pregnancies. My heart started pounding
You're
as I
having regular sex. That's not accidental. There's nothing accidental about 24/7 sex.
My heart started pounding as I lifted my head to look at the beautiful woman who'd introduced herself as Madame Alna. Excuse me, Madame Alna? Her inquisitive, dark-eyed gaze snapped to mine from where she sat behind a glass desk that had nothing but a computer and a telephone on it. Yes, Miss Marnio? This part here about being a stepmother to the highest bidder's children, acid spun around in a vortex in my gut, but I held back my desire to vomit. She didn't say a word, waiting patiently for me to spit out what I wanted to
my
know, which was
God.
honestly all the more intimidating. Do a lot of the bidders have children? A few, yes. Most of the bidders are aged 24 to 45. That's a fucking gap. It stands to reason that men and women in that age bracket with such affluence may have children, no? A French lilt to her answer made her explanation sound beautiful, even if the reality was frightening.
I'm sorry, again, time out. I love that the biggest problem. This is a 3-year whore contract. And her biggest problem is, God forbid I have to act like a mother to someone.
I mean, listen, I
Woman.
too would take umbrage
Woman
with having
moment.
to act as a parent.
Okay, but you're being paid like several $1 million to act as a parent for 3 years for someone else's kids.
Okay, here's the counterpoint. You know what I'm getting? How do you know what ungodly rate I'm gonna get taxed at on that shit?
Oh, maybe there's like caveats in there, and who knows? So
I
even
guess
if you
all-
walk away,
The marriage contract tax loophole.
Okay, at worst,
You know what?
you get to keep
I'd
a
be like,
million
all
of
right,
it.
listen,
Yeah,
it
That's
better
still
be
$1
$3
million.
million after tax value.
well, maybe it's just like $1 million after everything's said and done of taxes. That's
Okay,
still
but here's
3
the problem
years
with
for
that.
$1 million.
$1 million ain't shit.
That's a fucking it. Bitch,
$1 million
you
for
ain't
like
gonna
people like me
get
and
$1 million.
Today, in today's economy, $1 million is nothing.
Bitch, you ain't gonna get shit for $1 million. What the fuck are you smoking?
Okay, listen, Atin, with $1 million, people like me and Sneaky could just disappear into the wilds of South Dakota
Right.
and never be seen again. Except by our delivery people.
Which, for the record,
Maybe.
here's the problem. I can't build a compound with $1 million.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I can't build
Small one.
a good compound.
Oh,
The kind
Bitch,
filled with
please.
the kind filled with secret doors and traps.
Then we'll just buy a bunker for 500,000. It's just as good.
Time.
Yeah.
No, seriously
mean-
though, like there are places
yeah,
that
no,
do
there are some
sell missile silos
Lavish
in the
ass bunker
States.
apartments.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't mean bunker apartments. I mean there are missile silos you can just buy.
Oh yeah.
And then we convert it back into a missile silo, and we launch our attack on
No.
the United States.
Okay,
No.
we need a little
Inshallah.
more. We need a bit more than $1 million for that.
All right. Anyway,
We
back to
declare
this
our independence by
garbage.
containing a nuke inside the missile silo.
Is it possible to ensure that I do not get a bidder with a child? My voice cracked, clearly exposing my fear as much as I tried desperately to hide it. Madame Alna narrowed her gaze. No, if you're not willing to accept every item as highlighted and fully explained in the contract, perhaps this lifestyle is not for you. Dread, cold, and
Lifestyle?
slick. slithered over
this
the
is
surface
just-
of my skin. I needed this deal. It wasn't only
Oh.
my life that depended on it. I
Okay,
would
quick.
need the money and power behind every bidder in the auction if I wanted to survive the situation I'd found myself
Yeah,
in.
quick pause.
Oh my fucking god.
She said lifestyle. This
Yeah.
implies that there are repeat contract
Oh yeah, no,
signers.
I mean makes
Oh, yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Why not?
Well, especially right if I'm getting $3 million every time. Like when you, I mean, in fact, from a financial standpoint, going right back in would be a way better deal because that's another 3 years where you're not spending any money, where you're not making any income, which is really important for tax reasons.
Yeah.
And that's 3 years where the rest of that money is just going to sit, right? And here's the thing. People would say put it in the stock market. No. You put it in a fucking hot or safe medium performance mutual fund where you're going to get a nice 5-6% very safely. That's what you do.
Yeah, and especially if the contract's saying that you have to act as a wife/husband, it means you would have collected funds, and likely the
Well, yeah,
person,
right, you're going to be fed, housed, clothed.
Yeah.
Now, sure, there might be a stipulation in the contract at the end of it that they'll take back like all the clothes or whatever. Which if this is someone paying $3 million for 3 years, yeah, they'll buy all the designer clothes and stuff, and maybe they want them back or whatever for
Yeah.
whatever the next person they
But
acquire
it's just
is.
like there's just so much about this that's like, if I didn't know the author was a woman, there's so much about this that would screams that the author is a woman. Oh yeah, it's all the accidental pregnancies I need to avoid with all the excessive amounts of sex I'm having. It's like, bruh, that's not accident. There is nothing accidental about you getting pregnant from having constant sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, like, jokes aside, yeah, I'd probably do this. Now, granted, I'm probably not attractive enough for this, but
Yeah, no one here is
No one on this
attractive
show
enough
is.
to manage that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the initial deposit would go into my account the very minute the buyer signed and paid for his prize. Me. That money would go a long way, and I had to stick to the plan. The fear, the disgust of selling myself in a way that it felt very much like high-priced prostitution and self-degradation. I wonder why.
It
was
is
nothing compared to
high-priced
what I-
prostitution.
was nothing compared to what I'd already lived through. Most importantly, it would give me what I wanted more than anything. A way out.
Money.
There's several jokes I could make, but none of them pass TOS. The
Yeah.
exhaustion, the endless hours of running, looking over my shoulder, the infinite worry for the one soul who mattered more than any other would end tomorrow night. One more day. I skimmed over the rest of the highlights in the enormous contract. Basically, I was signing my life away for 3 years. I would no longer be Faith Marino, daughter to beloved father Robert Marino, who'd lost his young wife in a tragic accident, leaving her father, and older sister inseparable. The man I adored and put on the highest pedestal would hate what I was about to do, while understanding and giving me his support. Hopefully, whoever chose me, if I was chosen, would allow me regular contact with my family. These men were vetted as intensely as every candidate who was being put up for auction. My secret would never be discovered, as no record of it existed. I'd ensured that fact by losing a part of my soul, a part I never wanted back.
Wait, hold on
As
a
long as
second.
I could.
I got again. This like
No,
jump
hang
in
on,
logic
hang on,
here.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
We're nearly done.
Okay.
We're nearly done.
Yeah.
As long as I could catch the eye of a willing bidder, I had the power to generate a million of $1 million per year. A deposit of $250,000 would be delivered in good faith the night of the auction. If bidding went higher than $3 million, me and those I cherished would be set for the rest of our lives, with enough money to disappear. Somewhere the devil himself wouldn't be able to find us. I can't keep this fucking voice up. I hate it. I
Yeah.
looked down at the last signature line and signed it with a flourish and strength I hadn't felt until that very moment. I was the master of my destiny now. For the first time in a long time, I smiled. Tomorrow night I would stand on a stage with several other hopefuls, each with their own reason for selling their bodies and souls to the highest bidder at what the clandestine company that hosted the event called the marriage auction. A note from the hold on. A note from the author.
Oh god.
Hi, friends. I'm so
Oh,
excited
no.
to take this journey with all of you.
Oh Jesus
Faith,
Christ.
Oh, no.
Ruby, Dakota, and Savannah are going to take you on one wild adventure. Pull up a chair and get ready for intrigue, family drama, many hidden secrets, unbreakable friendship, lies, sexy times, and everything in between.
Jesus fucking
Make sure to
Christ.
like, fave, and follow the story below so you don't miss out. Let the journey begin.
Can we just go back to the really shitty male power fantasies? Because at least those were fun to listen to.
Yeah. I want my isekais back. dude.
Fortunately, none of those are in the top 5.
I want
God.
my
Oh
isekai.
boy,
I wonder why.
here's one called the Millionaire Tournament.
Oh, I'm sure. I just sit here. I'm just sitting here, and she's like, "I'm making such a sacrifice for $1 million per year." And I'm just sitting here thinking about, like, bitch. Look, do you know what an oil field worker is? Like, you are literally everything you are describing is what an oil field worker is. I'm gonna have to sell my body and fucking soul to this company, work 12-hour back-to-back shifts, don't really get to talk to my family for the next year. And I'm gonna make way less than $1 million. Also,
I mean,
I might die.
to be fair, people that work on an oil rig do make excellent money.
Oh no,
They're
they
not
do.
making $1
They
million.
make great money, but it's not a fucking $1 million. They make maybe 150K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like they might die, and that's just accepted as like, yeah, that's a thing that happens. And you are not Steve Bob. You are losing your name when you sign that oil field contract. You are now employee number 752. Like, bro, like, I did consider working on an oil field at one point, and then I was just like, nope, my fucking health is too terrible. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
The
I
male
think
power
actually,
fantasy would
knowing
be from
you-
the bidder of the auction.
Knowing
yeah.
you would accidentally light one of the wells on
I
fire.
probably would. Also, there's nothing
Yeah.
accidental about it.
I think Fiend actually works on an oil rig. or something
He
like
used
that.
to, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least something
Yeah.
oil related.
He used to.
He's a lot more active now, so I think he only used to. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a lot of fucking money from that because that was an offshore rig which pays even more.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to go home when you do the oil field contracts, and you don't get to
Nope.
go to town when you do an off-field oil contract.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I growing up, I knew at least, like, probably 10 people whose dads worked on oil rigs. So, yeah. I mean, Norway, obviously. They
Yeah,
have oil rigs.
Norway.
Yeah, I know
But
all
yeah,
about that.
so that was a thing.
God, that was fucking
Yeah.
God, women.
Boy, there are some like real just weird titles in the top faves, by the way.
I'm sure there is, but the other thing I was gonna say is, I liked how she's like at the same time she's like, oh, they'll never find out about my secret because I did some really shady shit to get that secret buried. But then also at the same time goes, I should be pretty safe. There's no way these people who are way richer than me could ever trick the vetting process. I'm just like,
Yeah.
You sure
Look,
about
the
that?
whole thing, like, because here's the thing: when I went looking for this, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this could be. I was like, fine, let's see what this is. And I saw the top 5, and I was like, so that's what this is gonna be.
Now, I'll say this,
Yep.
it could be an interesting like short story premise.
Also, I would
But
really
it
like to
needs
see
some
someone
work.
clip that start of the fucking stream. Women, fucking women.
Yeah.
Listen, your rant there makes a whole lot more sense when they'll get to the context later.
Yeah, when they get to the later
Yep.
context. Yeah.
The later context
Oh.
of, oh, hey, here's a possible avenue for aspiring authors and writers, and
And it's horny
and it's
women.
gone.
It's all horny from here on out. Speaking of horny from here on out, let's do some Harry Potter books.
Epic.
What could go wrong?
Everything.
Absolutely fucking everything, yeah.
I just
What was that meme that Max sent me earlier? Oh yeah, Fred and
that was-
George see Ron sleeping with a man named Peter Pettigrew every night and never bring it up.
Yeah, on the Marauders map.
Yeah.
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 It's,
Hey, you know what?
oh boy.
Maybe they're good brothers who aren't judging their brother for his life choices.
Hmm.
Okay.
Maybe they should be judging him for his life choices.
Maybe they should be judging.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, that's definitely, from what I know of his brothers, they would have been teasing the fuck out of
Yeah,
him. Like,
no, they
oh, when
actually
you gonna
would be.
introduce the
Hell.
boyfriend? It's like,
Yeah.
what?
What boyfriend?
We
If
see
they
you sleeping with him every night.
if their characterization been consistent, they would have teased the shit out of him for that. And then it's like,
Absolutely.
wait, hang on a second. Who is Peter Pettigrew? What are you two talking about? And then the parents get involved. I was like, oh, good. How many problems are solved?
All of them.
Many.
Actually, pretty much, yeah, Gray is right. Pretty much all of them do get solved because Peter Pettigrew escaping pretty much is the last 6 books.
Yeah.
Well, from the third and out. Last 5 books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right then.
So it would
Everything
make a
from 3
massive
onwards.
difference.
Yeah. Because Peter found Voldemort only just in time.
Yep.
And literally no one else found him from there on out. So literally, unless you author fiat in someone finding Voldemort instead of Peter, then Voldemort's just not a problem for, ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like when you're a writer, you need to be careful of what kind of things you add into your world.
Yeah, a little bit. I
Like,
mean,
that's
I
why-
personally just don't really enjoy when authors use their fiat, like, halfway through the story. Just like, like when you're setting shit up, I'm fine with author fiat. I'm fine with, like, the entire first chapter being just hand wave with everything happening. But if you're gonna be like, oh yeah, well, halfway through the story, this character that has absolutely no reason to be where they are suddenly shows up, and it's just like, why? Like, and then they just never explain it. And it's like not some twist later on where secretly the character is working for the bad guy all along or anything. It's like no, they just randomly showed up. There's like no reason behind them showing up there. They just were there. It's like
one of those.
Yeah.
No wonder you hate Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that's one of the reasons why I don't like Kingdom Hearts all that much. Author fiat should be spent early on, and everything from there on out should just be dominoes you already set up. How does the Marauders map work in the tower? Does it show the individual slices? Yeah, you can view shit by individual rooms. I believe they showed that in the movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I'll be honest, for a second it sounded like you were one of the 7 dwarves there, and you were about to sing Hi-Ho.
Polyamorous Ginny Weasley's reverse harem.
Inshallah.
Those are words you just said.
Yep, women.
You've dead words now.
Yep. Let's see. Those who live without. A journey that the survivors have started and persisted. That's not how you use those words. Has at last reached its conclusion, and the war engulfing the world hurtles toward the very same. That's not how you use those words either. The long hidden will come to light, the living will fulfill their destinies that were never told, and the dead silently will remain dead. Okay.
What?
7th and final year of the AU sequel to Shameful Human Weakness. Wow. This dude wrote. This dude did what most authors can't do, and that's write all 7 years of Harry Potter. This dude wrote all 7 years of Harry Potter. And not only did he write all 7 years, he wrote book length all 7 years.
They were all awful.
Oh, Lord.
And I just want you guys to keep all of this information in mind as I read out his stats. 40 chapters for book 7. 140k words for book 7. 4 reviews, 2 favorites.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or I've been seeing a lot of like really horrible stat things lately?
I think people are kind of getting tired of fanfic, to be honest, my dude.
Yeah.
Hello,
Makes
Spinal.
sense.
Wow, yeah, okay, here we go. He started writing in 7/16, really?
That's his first profile post.
His first fic was in 2015.
Yeah.
Let's see, so Shameful Human Weakness, sequel to Worse Than Death, sequel to Beyond Fear of Reason.
hey, whatever happened to that Harry Potter becomes a fucking space marine? Well,
Oh,
more
that
accurately, Harry
series
Potter
is
becomes
dead.
a Grey Knight.
That's hyper dead. It hasn't updated in like 5 years.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Inquisitor Caro? Or is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
something else?
The author announced he was going to rewrite it and then just
Didn't.
didn't. So let's see. Beyond Fear of Reason, a sequel to Greater and More Terrible, sequel to Slytherin's Monster, sequel to The Boy Who Died. Okay, so we got The Boy Who Died. A true single point of departure leads to a world without Harry Potter. Changes compound and no one is safe. Featuring Ron, Hermione, Draco, and Neville. And yeah, about 100k to each story. So let's see, 300k, 450. That's around 200k. 200k, so that's 850. And then we got 140k here, so that puts us at around 1 million words. This dude has written 1 million words, and the highest favorite count for his entire series is 55 people. And that drastically drops. His sequel, 55 people in his first story. His sequel drops to 10. The sequel to that drops to 5.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's... wow. Yeah.
Impressive, honestly.
Can you imagine writing 1 million words and only getting 5 people reading it?
Thank God, no.
Can you imagine? This dude has been with this story for 4 years. So he put out 10 books effectively in 4 years, which is impressive. But only 5 people read them. Ouch.
You know, at some point you gotta like reconsider what the fuck am I actually doing?
Yeah.
Like with this podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, one could say that this podcast is another great example of poor numbers, but at the same time, I'm sitting here and having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Sneaky, how do you know that the author didn't have fun, right?
That's true. However, I'm also getting paid. A little bit,
Tiny bit.
but I am getting paid. So, yeah. Hopefully someday I'll be paid more. But until then, I'll continue to harvest money from Amazon Prime subscriptions.
Hint, hint.
Indeed.
Yes, everyone should resubscribe with their Amazon Prime subscription. Remember, every Amazon Prime subscription that you give to someone, Amazon loses money.
Yes.
True.
But you had to give Amazon money in the first place for that.
Yeah. But however, a lot of that money actually goes towards all of the shipping costs. And Amazon actually reported that they lose about $350 million a year on Twitch Prime subscriptions as like a net loss in total.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rookie numbers, though, we gotta pump them up.
Doesn't even come close.
Come close to what?
Denting their
No,
massive...
obviously it doesn't even come close to denting their numbers, but that's still a lot of money to be just net loss losing.
Yes.
What in the actual fuck? What the fuck? What the okay. Yeah, let's read this story. It was the dead who groaned within. When Abigail Runecorn, a young student at Hogwarts Catholic School, is found dead at the bottom of the tower, strange events begin to occur in the nighttime. Hermione Granger, the definitely adult night librarian, is forced to shed everything she believes in to investigate, and it will what in the actual fuck is that word?
Irremediably. Apparently.
Irremediable.
Irremediable. Okay. Impossible to remedy.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, fair enough. And what she finds will
Irrevocably?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But no, she went with like the weirder version of the word. Irremediably alter her life. 1970s, Muggle AU, no magic, ghosts happen, Minerva times Sybil, Hermione times Severus. It's like, oh, Harry Potter? Oh, what's that story famous for? Magic. All right, well, what if I wrote a Harry Potter story with no magic?
Fuck magic. That's
Well, it's
cringe.
like... Then it's literally just not Harry Potter. It's literally just... I thought they were all Protestants after King Henry. Fuck you. The author...
They're Anglican, technically.
Yeah, that's actually the real story behind the story, is why Hogwarts is a Catholic college, not a Protestant one.
Well, I mean, isn't it in Scotland?
True. Yeah.
And the last Catholic kings of England and, well, the UK were the Scottish Stuart family.
All right, well,
So
there
I
you
guess
go.
maybe they're still holding on to that.
Yeah.
That's the most sensical.
It's
explanation.
actually an AU where the Catholics retook Britain and Ireland.
Yeah, I guess. The Glorious Revolution
Yeah.
succeeded. Or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
They had a crisis of faith
Yep,
event occur, and everyone converted.
exactly.
Yeah.
They actually used the rebel exploit.
Yes, of course.
They got Catholic zealots in Scotland and just walked around the entire UK converting everyone.
Oh, AU where Martin Luther didn't exist.
True. That's just real life. Martin Luther is a psyop. Wait, Martin Luther
So
King.
are
No,
you
never
saying
mind.
the Catholic priests nailed the 99 problems to their own door? Are
Yeah,
you
it was an
saying they
inside joke.
faked their hate crimes?
Yep. Exactly. The 30 Years' War, actually just a famine. It's true. The history class won't teach you this, guys. This is real history right here.
The real AU. The Protestants didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Now there's an AU I can get behind.
True.
Writing a Harry Potter story with no magic is like writing a Worm story where there's no superpowers, where the characters are at university or working at a coffee shop. This will get you favorites by a collection of fics by Cauldron mods on AO3. Yeah, true.
True.
Man, fuck Cauldron, man. God, I fucking hate those upright people.
Those upstanding citizens.
No, they're upright because they have a pole shoved so far up their ass they can't sit down.
Right, fair enough.
The conquistadors have arrived, come up the shoreline. I actually prefer the Harry Potter AU, where the Norse successfully repelled the Christian invasion and proceeded to counter-invade.
Harry Potter, but it's all just ancient runes.
Yeah, everything's actually just pagan and Norse.
That would
Right,
be so
guys,
much more interesting.
We're finally done with ancient runes class. What's up next? Oh, ancient runes. Let's go.
They teach the art of magical reading.
Finally. A real class. How to properly butcher English monks.
AU, but the only difference is in the story's already happened, it doesn't affect the current story.
Hey, but there's no actual story. You're just hallucinating.
AU, the entire story you just read was a hallucination.
Hey, the story's just you gaslighting yourself.
And you're thinking you have an actual life, a happy, happy family, all that jazz.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh man, that would actually be a wild fucking world war. The Christians get pushed back, and what's that one fucking Gallic tribe that just murdered everyone?
Gonna need you to be a little more specific.
The tribe,
yeah,
the tribe that murdered everyone, not the country.
That
Fuck.
doesn't really narrow too much.
You know, it does narrow it down because they narrowed down the population. There's this one tribe that was known for being able to field 100,000 people. And they kept a no man's land zone of 800 miles. And they would kill and enslave anyone that entered this zone. And they were just like, they were so fucking massive, and they basically had yearly wars against the Romans, where they would run out 100,000 men strong out of the forests and attack Roman cities.
Germania, a tribe, or
It was a Germanic tribe.
yeah. Fuck.
And when I learned about this, I was literally, my reaction to learning about this tribe in Germany, I was just like, oh wow, so the Germans have been genocidal maniacs since literally ever.
Yep.
Like, this wasn't a new development. this
No,
has been a
absolutely
constant problem.
Yep.
But,
Literally in their blood.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, now with the Christianity being pushed back in this Norse AU, it's gonna be the Vikings versus that genocidal Gaul tribe.
Based.
That's what the next world